help him get there. Now a little bit, yeah, a little bit caught up. Then basically glance over the shoulder, sees the kamikaze coming their way, and says, "Nah, that's what it is." It's Twinkle Toes, Jimmy for Louisiana, and Glow Job, Jimmy for Badass. But still, pretty pumped on that last one. Glow Job was particularly fortunate in the game, so alas, that is Twinkle Toes living up to the name, kind of jogging out of the pack there, picking up lead for Louisiana. Glow Job almost breaking out. There we go. It's now also out of the pack. Twinkle Toes hot on Glow Job. Let's see if we get any jam action here. We're gonna play nice. Yeah, the pack is speeding up. Those trying to jump around and push on the outside. Glow Job looking for a little bit of opening, finding it. Maybe almost out. And it goes control damage that chose not to call it not to run it. Almost managing to make it through, but then stepping out on the inside of the left there. But what Ingles does there really, like, very aptly named Skater. Looks like we've got one in the box, block in the box to Louisiana. It's Soccer Blue jamming for Team Badass and Carmina Piranha jamming for Louisiana. Soccer Blue breaking out, picking up lead for Team Badass. It's like, ooh, very nice. Louisiana lost a block into the penalty box there. Soccer Blue coming back around the pack is poised for their approach there. Getting scrappy. Pack is getting pretty spread out here. We've got bridging as far as we can bridge. Soccer Blue in number 4. Yeah, Louisiana just lost their pivot to the penalty box, but Team Badass also has a blocker in there, so it's still even. There's a pack advantage, but that was 12 points for Team Badass. Soccer Blue bringing the score nice and close. Yeah, it's 70% of the leads thus far have been for Louisiana. They've had 3 leads for Team Badass, and that was by far the highest scoring one. So they really brought themselves back within borderless teams. And Team Badass is the only one that fit that format. And that's because the original team shut down the tournament. And as anyone who's ever played the tournament knows, that it really didn't fall off the whole bracket and it's better to keep it there. So, and then went to after one of the team shut down last night. So, they're kind of there, but off. Points each on jam. As big 3 points on board, uh, widening that lead. Definitely that lead. Right? No, I messed it up. 3 of the last. So the beginning of the game and for most of the game, Louisiana has definitely picked up lead on most of these jams. But out of the last four, 3 of them have been picked up by Team Badass. So definitely a momentum change in this last couple of jams. That is Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana and Emotional Jamage jamming for Badass. Twinkle Toes breaking out just barely ahead of Emotional Jamage. Ooh, and then slipping a little bit on that turn and calling it off. That is Soccer Blue jamming for Team Badass. Soccer Blue, oh, almost breaking through and getting knocked over, but not out on the outside line there. That is Bose jamming for Louisiana, but Soccer Blue, yes, through but not lead, looks like. I think our board is a little behind here. Oh, went for the apex jump, but got bumped out a little bit. But points for style, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, looks like we got an official timeout. Um, if I had to guess, it's because there's a scoreboard issue. I'm pretty sure, um, but hard to say. This timeout, once again, brought to you by 888-187. Um, we've also got one of our presenting sponsors is the Gillespie Group, which specializes in the management, development, and reimagination of residential and commercial real estate properties. They credit quality people, a relentless creative spirit, and a passion for reinvention in their ability to leave a lasting impact on Michigan's landscape. Well, they and I have that in common. I too credit quality people, a relentless creative spirit, and a passion for reinvention. Or value it, I guess, rather than credit. But all right, looks like we're back, and thank goodness. That is Queen of Hearts and Rest in Pieces on the jam line there. Queen of Hearts almost out, and it got bumped out on the inside, but not recycled so far that it kept her from still establishing a lead there. Rest in Peace is getting bumped out on the outside by Bambi Thumper. This is these defenses are really keeping the pack from making a whole bunch of progress, but Rest in Peace is breaking out and going to cause Queen of Hearts to go ahead and call off that jam. All right, score is 60-48. Badass Derby has really run away with that lead change. Score, we've got a 12-point. They've widened that margin by quite a bit. That is Kamikaze jamming for Louisiana. And, yes, and Mamer jamming for Team Badass. Kamikaze coming up against, I think, Kugarita. Yes, that was Kugarita. With that solid hit there. But 2 points on that last jam for Badass Derby. Yeah, we've had, like I said, we've had a little bit of a momentum shift. In the very beginning, Louisiana was picking up a lead every single jam, and now it's evened out quite a bit. Team Badass is, sometimes it takes a little while to warm up. Team Badass picking up lead once again. That is Emotional Jamage jamming for Badass and Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana. Emotional Jamage approaching the pack. Kind of trying to do a little spin move off of the Antichrist there, but didn't work and called it off. They did still pick up 3 points on that last one, though, so. Wow. Yeah, talk about a momentum shift. Louisiana has, in addition to the fact that the leads have started to go sort of more evenly to each team, Louisiana's been held scoreless this past 6 jams now. So Team Badass has definitely picked up a little bit of steam. I want to shout out Handle the Barbarian, who is doing the producing and all the math right here for me, which I so very much appreciate. I cannot talk and add at the same time, I'll tell you that. That is Soccer Blue jamming for Team Badass, picking up lead once again. Carmina Piranha jamming for Louisiana. Has the star stashed here. The pack is booking it around the track. And Soccer Blue uses that. There was a little bit of chaotic movement there and slides right on by, picks up another 4. Piranha's now also out of the pack, though, and able to start picking up some points. We'll see if she eked out any there. No, looks like no. So that scoreless streak that Badass has managed to establish here, their defense put in the work these last couple jams. So we got a nice empty penalty box. That is Queen of Hearts and Rest in Pieces. Oh, there we go. Louisiana's picking up lead, breaking that. I guess it was only a few there, but a little bit of a streak. As Queen of Hearts breaks out with a star stash. And rest in peace calls it off. We've got just about a minute left in this first period, and then we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute halftime. Looks like we've got at least one blocker in the box for Team Badass and an official timeout. Official timeout. Brought to you by 888-187 Killer Pads. That penalty box, by the way, brought to you by Happy Coffee. It's expertly blended, slow roasted for more complex notes, char-free taste, and ultimate smoothness. Now that's happy. They also partner with NAMI, which is the largest grassroots mental health organization in the U.S. So that's pretty cool. Score, let's see, the score is 73-49, Badass Derby. They have, again, for a game that started uh, really strongly in Louisiana's favor, Badass has managed to turn this around, but it is very much still anyone's game. This is not an insurmountable margin by any means, especially with the whole second half left. And with two teams that are as evenly matched skill-wise as these two are, I would say, like I said, anybody's game. That is Kamikaze jamming for Louisiana, breaking out, picking up lead. Going to be looking to close his margin a little bit. That is Mamer getting bumped out on the outside and recycled by Bose. That was a nice recycle. That was like practically half the track. As Kamikaze breaks through, picks up 4. Mamer now also through the pack, though, picking up a nice hard hit there from Strega. And that's going to be the half. Louisiana put up 7 points on that. They broke their scoreless streak in these last two jams. So again, like I said, momentum has been shifting all over the place this game. It is still very much anybody's game. We're actually going to have a 15-minute half. I take that back. So go ahead and get a drink, snack, stretch your legs, and we'll be back here in a little bit. we are just about ready to get back in it. It's soccer blue on the jam line for Team Badass. Starting the second half, the score is 73-56. Team Badass. And that is Rest in Pieces, jamming from Louisiana. Rest in Pieces establishing lead for Louisiana. And then calling it off. Picked up 4 points on that last one. Let's see, who do we got? That is Carmina Piranha jamming for Louisiana and Emotional Jammage jamming for Bass Derby. Score 73-60, just a 13-point margin. It is still anybody's game. Piranha breaking out. Yeah, especially if Louisiana is coming back to the second half with a little bit of momentum here. And if they can keep that up, then it is most certainly anybody's game. Piranha still fighting their way through this pack, trying to keep an eye on Emotional Jammage. Emotional Jammage being held nicely by that Louisiana defense. Now managed to break on through. Ooh, that was beautiful, that slide. Louisiana didn't even have to slow down. Kind of whipped her on the outside. And then goes ahead and calls it off. Both teams picked up 8 points on that last jam. Oh, I think I saw... Yep, looks like we have an official review being requested by Louisiana. This official review, as are all official reviews tournament, brought to you by 888-187 Killer Pads. We also have our equipment sponsor for this tournament is Sacred Roller Skate Supply. Sacred Roller Skate Supply, your source for high-quality skates and gear, custom built and community engagement. We are owned and operated since 2021. Sacred brings not only a passion for maintaining a supportive environment for skaters of all levels and all identities, but also provides industry-leading brands and knowledge to support a safe skating lifestyle. Whether it is roller derby, park skating, rink skating, or recreational skating, Sacred has you covered. Like I said, Team Atlas, obviously, because they already picked a team and pretty specific to this tournament, they do not have any kind of a record with any of the other participants in the tournament. But Team Louisiana does. In 2023, they lost to Florida in a pretty close game. They won against Indigenous Rising. And then in 2024, they lost against Flower Power, which is the Canadian team made up of players from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. So, a little bit of history on that team. We will hopefully get some information at the end of this official review. We'll try to find out what the challenge is and what the verdict is. Usually the refs will bring it over. I will do my darndest to get that information for you. This is game 6 of the tournament. This tournament is 40 games over the course of 3 days. And so the winner of this game will go on to play Black Diaspora at 5:30 today on track 3. and the loser of this game will go on to play the loser of game 5 at 8 p.m. tonight on track 1. Um, so if you are following one or the other of these teams through the tournament, that's the information you need to see where they are headed next. Looks like we are going to get some information here. All right. So, as we said, the official review was requested by Louisiana. We just got a little bit of information on what exactly is being challenged. So, it's a points challenge. They were challenging some points at the very end of that last jam, and we don't have a verdict yet. So, we don't want to speculate out loud, at least. The both of the packs are, as they're wont to do, they're congregating over there by the Jammer Line. Jammer Line is sponsored by Tashmika Tarok, Healing Justice Consultant, and Firecracker Foundation. Tashmika is a queer black woman who centers her work around connecting dope-ass people to liberatory ideas so that we can all get free. Which I'll tell you what, that's a what a mission! What a mission statement! As a healing justice consultant, abolitionist, and survivor activist, Toshmika is cultivating her community's ability to imagine, build, and maintain ways to intervene on acts of violence without relying on police, prisons, or other state institutions as a path towards ending state-sanctioned violence against black and brown people. We are back. I believe that Louisiana retained their official review on that last one. But we did not actually get a follow up from the refs, so don't quote me on that. Uh, that is that one happened so fast while I was still reading the sponsor read. So, but I can see that the Louisiana picked up 3 points on that last jam, bringing the score to 79-71. They are really closing this gap. It's looking like this is going to be a pretty close game. But like I said, these teams are seeded. They're only two seed spots away from each other, so this would have been projected to be a pretty close game to begin with. That is Queen of Hearts jamming for Team Badass and Kamikaze jamming for Louisiana. Both pushing up against these defensive tripods here and not making too much progress off of that jam line yet. They're looking like that team has we got that one last line of defense. That's Bose from Louisiana that's really holding it down, but Queen of Hearts is still able to make it through and pick up lead. No, I take that back. Not not lead. Queen of Hearts now on their initial scoring pass, really struggling though. That Louisiana came back from that challenge with some energy. And looks like I believe Louisiana's got that star stashed, or it's hard to say. Are they going to pass or are they stashed? Thus far, it looks like a stash, but you never know. Oh, the pivot's way in the front. Yeah, it's for sure a stash. It's not can't reach that far. And Queen of Hearts breaks on out, gets as Louisiana gets pushed out of play, has to let them go. Oh, now we did a start pass on Louisiana to Bose, who's now got the star. Oof. But Queen of Hearts picking up another 4. Ooh. Very nice. Louisiana did manage to put up 4 points there on that last one. Team Badass had 8 points on that last. Jam brings score to 87-75 with 25 minutes left in the game, so plenty of time. That is Rest in Peace jamming for Louisiana and Soccer Blue jamming for Team Badass. Both of these defenses really keeping the pack locked in place. Soccer Blue is just pushing on this Louisiana tripod in the front. As, getting a little bit of an assist from Team Badass pivot. That is Tego Hades coming to the rescue a little bit there. To great effect because Soccer Blue manages to break out on that. And Rest in Peace is now also out of the pack as Soccer Blue is approaching for that initial scoring pass. Oh, and managing to stay in. That was some serious balance there. Picked up 4 points on that jam. That is Carmina Burana and Mamer on the Tashmiga to Rock jam line. Mamer pushing to the front, almost breaking through, but getting sent to the penalty. I couldn't tell if it was going to be a recycle or penalty, but that was a penalty, which means it is a power jam for Louisiana. I think potentially our first power jam. No, maybe it might be the second one. It's either the first or the second power jam of the game. There haven't been a lot. That's the point. So we'll see what Louisiana can do with this to try to shrink that gap a little bit. Ooh, there we go, managing to break through, picking up 4 points there as Mamer gets back on the track. So Team Badass did a solid job of keeping that power jam to a minimal impact. Looks like, for a second it looked like Pirano was lining up for a little bit of jammer defense, but then actually called off the jam. 4 points for Louisiana on that last one. Bringing the score to 91-79. I take that back. 5 points for Louisiana. Bringing the score to 91-80. 21 minutes left in this game. The track has the vibe of a timeout, but no one is making a timeout gesture. No, not a timeout, just a little pause. There we go, and we're back. That is Queen of Hearts jamming for Team Badass and Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana. Queen of Hearts getting recycled to the back right away by Smash Adams there. Oh, just at the front of Louisiana's last line of defense here. That was kindly kills there, but breaks on through and picks up lead. Ooh, okay. I could not tell. They when they take off the star and stash it, often the point is to prevent the other team from being able to tell whether the jammer is still the jammer or the pivot is still the jammer. The thing is, that little trick often also works on announcers because I was not sure who had the star for Louisiana for a good portion of that jam. But Badass Jerry picks up 7 points on that last one. Score is 98-80. Looks like we've got Louisiana's pivot is over in that penalty box. Penalty box sponsored by Happy Coffee. We've got Emotional Damage and Kamikaze. I was about to say on the jam line, no longer on the jam line, but jamming. And Emotional Damage breaks out, picks up lead for Team Badass, but followed pretty closely behind by Kamikaze. The pack is booking it around the track. Oof. As the Louisiana Pivot gets back on the track. Four points for Louisiana and 3 points for Badass. Pushing Badass up over that 3-digit mark. Score is 101-84. That is Soccer Blue and Rest in Pieces jamming. Soccer Blue breaking out, picking up lead for Badass Derby. Nice and early. That was less than 10 seconds into that jam. Oof. Ooh. And looks like a penalty on Louisiana's jammer, which means it is a power jam for Badass Derby. Louisiana is going to be looking to shut down this power jam as much as possible in order to keep this points margin manageable. The pack is speeding up. Louisiana's jammer is standing. So we're getting to the end of the power jam. But Soccer Blue's still making progress. And there we go. That's the end of that power jam as Louisiana's jammer gets back on the track. And Soccer Blue calls it off. 12 points on that last jam for Badass Derby. Piranha and Queen of Hearts on the jam line. Piranha, oof, breaking out right quick. But Queen of Hearts also now out of the pack. Ooh, Piranha goes for the apex jump, gets bumped out on the inside. As Queen of Hearts picks up 4 points. Piranha also picking up points. The pack, like I said, the pack is booking it around the track right now. as Badass is trying to get Team Badass is trying to get a goat. Hard to get a goat one-on-one though. Queen of Hearts managing to scoop by that last blocker. And Piranha calls it off. 8 points for both teams on that last one, so did not do anything to the point margin, but it brought the score up a little higher. Score's 121.92, and we have an official timeout brought to you by 888-187. Once again, our presenting sponsor for this tournament is the Gillespie Group, specializes in the management, development, and reimagination of residential and commercial real estate properties in Michigan. Aha, okay. I was wondering why the officials were looking so serious, considering it was just an official timeout, but it does look like that official timeout has transitioned into an official review, I believe. Both teams keeping it cheerful over there. They are dancing it up over at the pivot line. We do not have a pivot line sponsor, but we do have a jammer line sponsor, which is Tashmika Turok. Um, Tashmika is a queer black woman who centers her work around connecting dope-ass people to liberatory ideas so that we can all get free. When Tashmika is not visioning, cultivating, and facilitating her own hard work, she is raising the free people in her home, playing in her garden, helping leaders build their own dreams, and teaching and modeling how to create safer spaces for all. For an inside look at what she's growing in her garden and in her work, visit tashmikatarok.com. I gotta say, that might be one of the coolest sponsors I have, sponsors and sponsor reads I have done as an announcer. So, um, just a very cool cause to see out here sponsoring our jammer line. Okay, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get information about that review, not review. Um, ooh, oh my goodness. Emotional damage just sort of leaping, jogging, leaping through the pack. That was very, very cool. Then it's Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana. Emotional damage. Oh, just that initial scoring pass already in like less than 40 seconds. That's crazy. Twinkle Toes trying to kind of slalom through, successfully slaloming through the pack to pick up lead. Emotional damage now being held a little bit as Twinkle Toes slides right on through. And emotional damage calls off the jam. That was a quick. There's a lot of rapid action in that last jam. Badass Derby picked up 8, and Louisiana picked up 3 on that last jam, bringing the score to 129.95 with 14 minutes left in the game. That is Mamer and Kamikaze out there jamming. Kamikaze breaking through, picking up lead for Louisiana. Mamer getting, yeah, sent to the penalty box, which is, it is a power jam for Louisiana, and they could use it. We'll see what they can do. Louisiana's pivot, unfortunately, is also in the box, so they're playing down a blocker for this power jam, but Kamikaze going one-on-one with Strega there, coming up against a tough, badass wall that's just keeping her completely in place. Yeah, that was that's the end of that power jam, and that was quite the shutdown. That's the jam. 4 points for Louisiana on that. Which, frankly, when the margin is this small, 4 points is nothing to sneeze at. Still very much a surmountable gap between these two teams. That is Rest in Pieces jamming for Louisiana, picking up lead right away as Soccer Blue is jamming for Team Badass. Now also breaking out about a lap behind Rest in Pieces. Rest in Pieces breaks through and then takes a quick look at how quickly Soccer Blue is approaching and calls it off. Another 4 points for Louisiana, pushing them up over that 3-digit mark and bringing the score just that much closer. Score is 129-103. Just 26 points. That's doable, especially with 11 minutes left in the game. That is Piranha jamming for Louisiana and Queen of Hearts jamming for Team Badass. And Team Badass breaks out. Oh, I take it back. Piranha had already broken out and had lead, got knocked down, got up, sort of took a look around and said, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Let's call this Jim. Leaving us with we had a no score jam that last time around, which I don't have the data, but I think might be our first no score jam of the game. Wow, okay. Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana, breaking out right away. Quite literally running away with it as Emotional Jam is now also breaking out of the pack. The pack is speeding up here as Emotional Jam is just looking to pick up a couple points while Twinkle Toes is reapproaching. Ooh, and Emotional Jammers gets sent to the penalty box, which means it is a power jam for Louisiana. They have already picked up 8 points, and the momentum is high. So this could be very good news for Louisiana fans. Another 4 points for Twinkle Toes. Louisiana blockers lining up to play some offense there. Clear path. And Twinkle Toes calls it off. Louisiana picked up 12 points on that last jam, while Badass picked up 3, bringing the score to 132-115. Definitely shrinking that margin quite significantly. Ooh, looks like, oh yeah, Team Louisiana just actually picked up 2 extra points. So they actually picked up 14 on that last jam. The score is 132-117. Bringing the margin to just 15 points. It is a timeout Badass Derby. This timeout brought to you, as always, by 888-187 Killer Pads. We've got about 8.5 minutes left in this game. Like I said, both of these teams, it is a double elimination tournament, so both of these teams will play again. Every team will play until they've lost twice. That's, I guess double elimination is pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, I've explained it to you as well. So the winner of this game, this is game 6, so the winner of this game will go on to play Black Diaspora at 5:30 on track 3, and the loser of this game will go on to play whoever loses game 5, which I think was New Jersey. I'm fairly certain. So the loser of this game will go on to play, I'm like 99% sure that that was New Jersey, at 8 p.m. on track 1 later this evening. So we are getting back at it. That is Comet Kazi jamming for Louisiana, and Soccer Blue jamming for Team Badass. Soccer Blue picking up lead. I'm starting to feel a little bit like a broken record, given the amount of times I've said Soccer Blue picking up lead. Because Soccer Blue's been really putting in the work today, so. Picked up 4 points on that last jam, bringing the score to 136-117 Badass with about 7.5 minutes left. That is Queen of Hearts jamming for Badass and Rest in Pieces jamming for Louisiana. Louisiana's got 1 blocker in that Happy Coffee penalty box. Happy Coffee, unhappy players, presumably. It's never fun to be in the penalty box, but, you know, you live. Louisiana breaking out, picking up lead. And reapproaching up against this last line of defense here. That is Kugarita, who was kind of trying to hold it down and did well, but unfortunately got pushed too far out of play. Had to let Peace go. Peace now again up against this same sort of like final defensive line, and again they got pushed out of play. Had to let Peace go. Queen of Hearts now also Rest in Pieces calling it off. Picking up 8 points on that last jam, bringing the score to 136-125. Just 11 points separating these two teams. Still with just about 6 minutes, a little less than 6 minutes left in the game. This is close. This could, I've certainly seen larger margins get closed in less time. So it's. Louisiana's done awesome job of coming back from. At one point, it was a pretty large points gap. We've had the energy shift has gone back and forth between Louisiana came out of the gate with a ton of energy, captured lead I think on the first like uh, 10 out of the first 15 jams, and then Team Badass kind of warmed up. They took more of a slow and steady approach and came from behind. We had that lead shift, and then Team Badass has at one point then had run away with it to the point where the gap was over 30 points, and now again Louisiana picked that energy back up and has closed it quite a bit to leave them, like I said, with just 11 points between these two. We are on a timeout, by the way. Um, I cannot see whose timeout it is, but I'm now seeing. I just saw an official timeout gesture. I had thought that it was a team timeout originally. I may have been wrong about that. No, it is a team timeout. At least according to the scoreboard, it's a team timeout. All right, and we are back at it. That is Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana and Emotional Damage. Ooh, right out of the gate with Twinkle Toes picking up lead for Louisiana. Emotional Damage about a quarter lap behind. The pack is speeding around the track as Louisiana's trying to get a goat there. And Twinkle Toes calls it off. We'll see if they eked out a couple points there. Yes, one little point, but every little point counts when it's an 11-point gap. We did have an official review requested by Team Badass. This official timeout brought to you, or this official review rather, brought to you by 888 Killer Pants. All right, just got a little bit of information on what this official review is. Like I said, it's a Team Badass requested the challenge, and they are looking for a skating out of bounds call against Louisiana. So that's what they're looking for. Refs are still very much in the deliberation phase. So, but hopefully when they reach a verdict, we will get that information brought over to us. I was. Oh, all right. So, like I said, that was Team Bad is looking for a skating out of bounds call. The refs did not have enough eyes on it in order to grant that, and so the no call will stand. Um, we've got Piranha and Maimer on the jam line. one in the box for Team Badass. Mamer almost out, but got bumped out at the last second. Both Jammers actually getting recycled all the way to the back here. Both Jammers, this is a scrappy pack here. Both Jammers up against some tough defenses. Hard to say. Oh, but yes, Mamer manages to break out, stayed just barely in on that outside line there and picked up lead. Ah, okay. I was once again. I am fooled by the star stash. That was a power jam, but because Piranha had the star in their hand while sitting in the penalty box, I could not see that. So that was why there was no star on the track and no star on the penalty box for a second there. But Piranha's now back on the track. That's the end of that power jam. Oh, it was a switch actually because Mamer's in the box now, and so it's a power jam for Louisiana. Piranha's fighting up against these last two blue blockers, successfully breaking through. Mamer back on the track and now also trying to break out past this last, but the jam times out. Badass picked up 4 points on that last jam, as did Louisiana. So keeps the score to this 10-point gap with 3 minutes left in the game. Soccer blue pushing up at the front, getting bumped out on the inside, giving Twinkle Toes the opportunity to slide right on by and pick up lead. Twinkle Toes now on their initial scoring pass and just slides by that inside line, picks up 4 nice and neat, and then calls it off. Score is now 140-134. Shrinking that gap down to just 6 points with a little under 2 minutes left in this game. Like I said, this is going to be a close call. We've got Queen of Hearts and Rest in Pieces on the jam line. This is jam 20 of this game. Louisiana does have 1 blocker on the box, so Badass has a tiny little pack advantage. Louisiana's jammer kind of lining up, looking to, oof. Oh, that's, oh, a forearm penalty on the Louisiana jammer. It is now a power jam for Team Badass. That could be a pivotal penalty in determining the outcome of this game. Queen of Hearts gesturing to the pack to run it. But that Louisiana defensive line they're going to do their level best to keep them from taking full advantage of this power jam. Just 40 seconds left in this jam. That is Bose, and that was... I did not see the second. It was Bose and the Louisiana pivot who were holding it down there. End of that power jam. Louisiana's jammer is back on the track and booking it. Oh, And Badass very clearly running the clock, waiting for the Louisiana Jammer to get around before they called it off. Louisiana has called a timeout, but the game clock is out. So we'll see. Oh, okay, so the game clock on the scoreboard was out, but the actual game clock had 11 seconds left. So it is looking like, yeah, that unofficial score label has gone away because we still have game time. This is a nail biter, folks. But Esther, we did manage to widen that gap. It had gotten down to just 6 points, and it is now 12. But again, once the jam clock is live, the jam will go for as long as the jam needs to go, regardless of whether the game clock has run out. So in a scenario where Louisiana establishes lead, obviously if Team Badass establishes lead, they're going to likely they're going to end the jam as soon as the game clock is out. But in a scenario where Louisiana establishes lead, that could give them up to a full 2 minutes to make up these points. So certainly no foregone conclusions here. That is Twinkle Toes jamming for Louisiana and Mamer jamming for Badass. Mamer trying to make it around the inside. Twinkle Toes breaking out, establishing lead for Louisiana. So Louisiana now controls this jam and effectively this game because the game clock has run out, but we still have a minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. And if there's anybody who could potentially put up a full 12 points, Twinkle Toes this has been a very high scoring game for Twinkle Toes. And they've been very effective at breaking through some seriously solid defensive lines. So, however, Team Badass is doing their best to shut it down. But there we go. That's at least the initial scoring pass. Still a minute 10. That's 4 points for Louisiana. Louisiana's blockers are playing as much offense as they can. We've got jammer defense now being played by Mamer, who's trying to get in the way. Louisiana has got Mamer held in the back. Twinkle Toes looking to break through the front. Aha, Mamer now also, though, passing. It's so funny that the cameras have started flashing like crazy. It is quite clear that someone alerted someone that this is a nail biter. Mamer now reapproaching back. Twinkle Toes still trying to break through. Oh, and Mamer passes, picking up, I believe, another 4. Just 15 seconds left in this jam. And that is it. That is the jam and the game. We're going to just wait for them to do some to finalize the score, do some last-minute points math potentially, and determine what our final score is. Our unofficial score, there it is. That's the final score. Badass Derby 150, Louisiana 142. But what a game from both of these teams. That was it was never clear who was gonna come away with that win. So your MVP this game is Soccer Blue from Team Badass. And like I said, these teams are going to go on to play later. They both will play later today. Let's see. So Team Badass will be playing at 5:30 against Black Diaspora, and Louisiana will be playing at 8 p.m. against the loser of Game 5. So for fans of either of those teams, be sure to tune in. And we'll see you then.